Hi Chelsea fans, Chels Daft here with your transfer news, rumours, stories roundup. All the latest transfer news the last week or so and the stories that are doing the rounds. And there's plenty of it, with some big names being linked with moves away and one in particular being linked with a move in. And it's quite a surprise. So, plenty to feature, so much to talk about. Stay tuned to the end. Let's get cracking. First up today, Toni Rudiger, and Barcelona want him, and Chelsea are reportedly willing, to do a deal with him as early as January to enable Rudiger to leave the club. It's reported that Ronald Koeman, the Barcelona manager, is looking for a replacement for Samuel Umtiti, and Toni Rudiger has been identified as that man. As we know, Toni Rudiger has hardly featured this season. He's featured for a game, having held make-up talks with Frank Lampard, but since then we've not really seen him. He's only 27, he's got the Euros coming up in the summer, and Barcelona have reportedly added him to their list for January, with Eric Garcia of Man City, their top target. If they can't get him, they want Toni Rudiger, and Chelsea would be willing to let him go. A fee, you can only imagine how much it's probably going to cost, 30, 35, 40 million. Interesting to see what happens. What do you think about Toni Rudiger so far? What do you think about his hopes to get back in the Chelsea first team? Post your comments in the comment section below and drop a like on the video for me. Second, news that Kepa Arrizabalaga has finally conceded that his future lies away from Chelsea, according to various reports. He's dropped to third in the pecking order for the Spanish national team, and he now realises that if he wants to rekindle his chances of going to the Euros as the number 2 or number 1, he's going to have to play first team football, which he's not getting at the moment at Chelsea. It's believed that he's willing to accept a loan move and a substantial cut in his reported £150,000 a week wages, and is willing to go. With Petr Cech being registered in the Chelsea squad, I wonder, Mendy, Caballero, Cech, there's your 3 goalkeepers. Bye-bye Kepa. We have to wait and see. Would you hold on to him? Would you give him more chances? Or would you see him go? Post your comments. Comment section below. And don't forget to drop a like on the video. More news, and it's the same old story all over again. Every single international break. It does my head in. Georginio's agent has been talking once again and confirms that once Maurizio Sarri gets a job back in football, Georginio could follow him and rejoin him. This guy does it every time. Surely he must see that he hampers Georginio's chances of playing first team football. He did it during lockdown last season before the season finished and kept mouthing off about going to join Sarri and Juve being on her and all this sort of stuff. When Project Restart happened, Georginio found himself benched away from the first team and only come back into it when we needed him because of injury. His agent hasn't learned his lesson and he's doing it again and again. And it's not gonna please Frank Lampard. And Georginio surely has got to either tell him to stop or just bin him, get rid of him. It's just something you just don't want to see. Another thing that was interesting to see was Danny Drinkwater has commissioned a company to put together a highlight reel on Instagram of him in his playing days at his peak to try and obtain a move, maybe in January, away from Chelsea. As we know, he's not part of Chelsea's first team squad or the Champions League, and he's training at the moment with the under-23s and the development squad with Baba Rahman. Both players are stuck at Chelsea. Expect both of them to leave in January, but it looks as though Danny Drinkwater is doing what he can to try and get himself out of the club by showing everybody what he was capable of a couple of seasons ago. So too Olivier Giroud, who scored 2 more goals yesterday to move himself closer to Thierry Henry's French record. And Didier Deschamps has been talking again of the fact that if he's not playing first team football, he's going to lose his place in the Euro 2021 squad. And Giroud is now seriously considering moving away. We spoke about it on this channel before. Giroud was outstanding for Chelsea, Project Restart. When he come in, made that position his own, scored important goals for us to get us into the top 4. Let's be honest, ever since he's joined the club, he's scored important goals. He's been the difference up front when we needed somebody to be the link man and the target man. He's been perfect for us and he deserves so much credit for it. But at the moment, he can't find his way in with both Timo Werner and Tammy scoring goals. Giroud's had a short look in at the end of a game or two. At the moment, he doesn't even look as though he's going to be involved. You have to wonder what's going to happen. Giroud could leave as early as January, and there'll be plenty of takers. More news on players that could potentially be leaving on permanent deals, and it's Napoli. We've got Bakayoko on loan, but it's believed that he's made that much of an impression already that they're in talks with Chelsea to make the deal permanent. And we have to wait and see what's going to happen. If that will be in January for a fee that Chelsea will find acceptable, you'd imagine it'd have to be around 30 million or so. But Bakayoko has been doing well for Napoli, and now they want to sign him. Another rumour that's doing the rounds is Marcos Alonso and the interest of Crystal Palace, who are looking to try and get him signed. Now, it's not clear if this has got real substance in it or if it's just rumours and speculation going around as we build towards the transfer window coming up in the winter. But it's unclear if it's a loan move or a permanent deal. But you have to wonder if Frank Lampard would be willing to entertain a move away for Marcos Alonso and Emerson, who's heavily tipped to leave the club in January also. I guess we have to wait and see. But Crystal Palace are looking at Alonso. What do you think of Alonso and the other players I've just been talking about? Post your comment section below and drop a like on the video for me. And finally, to someone that Chelsea are being linked with and a lot of people are excited about, Jude Bellingham, the 17-year-old midfielder over at Dortmund, who's actually found his way into the Dortmund first team, has impressed them that much they've put him straight in there, and he has been impressive for them. It looks as though Chelsea have identified him as a long-term transfer target, and there's reports going around that he could be the alternative to Declan Rice, who Chelsea are still being linked with for a move in January. As we all know, it's going to cost Chelsea about £80 million to try and get a deal for Declan Rice done. If Rudiger, Alonso, Giroud and others go in January, Chelsea are going to have the money. Not as if they haven't got any money anyway, but they would have the money to invest in someone like Declan Rice. Could West Ham and would West Ham turn down a bid of around 70 to 80 million in January from Chelsea? You have to wait and see. But as we've seen from various reports before, upstairs at Chelsea, it's not all plain sailing with regards to Declan Rice, with some of the people in the hierarchy not really keen on Declan Rice and the fact that he left the club in the first place because they felt he couldn't cut it. Does that mean that they're going to be pushing for these reported interest in Jude Bellingham? We have to wait and see. But having only just recently signed for Dortmund, it's going to take a lot of money and a lot of time for Dortmund to release him. We'll just have to wait and see. For me, let's just get to the end of January and when the transfer window closes to see where we are in the league, how we're performing, how we're progressing, who's left and for what money, and if Chelsea have followed up this reported interest that's been there for months on Declan Rice. If no deal happens for Rice and a few players leave, you have to wait and see what's going to happen the following summer. But at the moment, I think our squad is good enough with the way we're playing and the options that we've got. What do you guys think of Bellingham as a long-term target? What do you think of Declan Rice? Has any of his performances this season changed your mind? And do you think that Chelsea still lack a defensive midfielder within the squad as probably one of the only areas we need to improve? That's it, guys. Transfer news roundup. Let me know what you think about any of the stories discussed, any of the players leaving, what your opinion is of them. Should they stay? Should they go? Are we not getting the best out of them? Or is it just time to cut ties? Let me know what you think in the comment section. Smash that like button for me, then subscribe to the channel, but make sure you hit that bell for notifications so you don't miss when my videos come out. Thank you so much for your time for watching this video. I'll see you all next time.